Hello, I'm Papia. In this problem, we have to find vertical asymptotes of the graph of this given function. And notice that it's a rational function. There's a numerator and a denominator. And both numerator and denominator, they're polynomials. So we have this little theorem that says that if you have a function, say h of x, and it's a rational function, so it has f of x over g of x. This is the form, this is the expression. Then we can find the vertical asymptote pretty easily. We have to check if there exists some point where the denominator is 0. So if g of c is 0 and the numerator at that exact point is not 0, f of c is not 0, then that value c will give us a vertical asymptote and the equation will be x equals c. So this line is a vertical asymptote. So we can use this particular result to figure out all the vertical asymptotes of the given function. Notice that we have to figure out where is the denominator 0, but the numerator is not 0. So the best way to figure out those values is if we can factor both numerator and denominator separately. And then we can figure out from the factors where they will be 0. So let's start with that. So let us factor both the numerator polynomial and the denominator. So for the numerator, we see right away that there's a common factor of 4 from all three terms. So take that out and you'll be left with x squared plus x minus 6. Denominator, on the other hand, there are 4 terms. So what we can do is we can probably group the first two and the next two, see what we get. So from the first 2 terms, you can take out a common factor of x cubed and you'll be left with, first one is x to the 4th, so you'll be left with x, and here you'll be left with a -2. Okay, so let's see, from the last 2 terms we can get one of the similar factors. Well, let's take out 9 and 18, so we have 9 common factor and an x. So let's take out -9x. If you do that, you will have just x, because we already took out the negative sign. And this is positive, so we need a negative here. Negative times negative will make this positive. We took out 9x, so what is left is a 2. That's good, because now we can combine these 2 terms with the common factor of x minus 2. All right, so let's continue. In the top, let's factor x squared plus x minus 6. This is 6 is 3 times 2. This is a positive, so you will have x plus 3 and x minus 2. Bottom, again, from the 2 terms, take out the common factor of x minus 2, and you will be left with x cubed, the first one, minus 9x. Okay, we can factor, see the denominator, this one, we can factor it further. So let's continue. The numerator is completely factored, so keep it as it is. And the denominator, we have x minus 2. Okay, let's see. X cubed minus 9x. Of course, there's a common factor of x. And then you'll be left with x squared minus 9. Well, this is a difference of 2 squares, so you can factor that further. So let's do one more step here. 4x plus 3 x minus 2 divided by x minus 2 times x times, this is x square minus 3 square, so you will have x minus 3 times x plus 3. Now we have everything factored. All right, remember what we need to find. All those values where the denominator is 0 but numerator is not 0. Now, if one of the factors appear in both numerator and denominator, like x minus 2, for example, it will not give us what we want, right? Because at x equals 2, see, the numerator is 0 and the denominator is 0. So that will not give us a vertical asymptote. Do you remember what happens to the graph at those points? Those are the points where you have a hole, right? It's not an asymptote. Okay, so to figure out where we have vertical asymptotes, we can cancel out those terms that appear in both numerator and denominator. So let's see. Numerator we have x plus 3. Denominator we have x plus 3. Well, let's get rid of that. Numerator x minus 2 also appears in the denominator. Let's get rid of that. Remember, when we're cancelling, we are making sure that we understand this happens when x is not equal to negative 3 and 2. Then only we can cancel. So let's see. Finally, our function is, after cancelling these terms, we have 4 divided by x times x minus 3 for x not equal to negative 3 and 2. Now, look at this expression. Look at the numerator and denominator separately and figure out if there are any vertical asymptotes. Okay, so we have two factors in the denominator. When each one is 0, we get the denominator 0. So let's see. One of the factor is x. So when x equals 0, denominator is 0, numerator not 0. Therefore, this is a vertical asymptote. Also for x minus 3, when that is 0, that means x is equal to 3. Same thing happens. Denominator 0, numerator obviously not 0. So these are the equations of the vertical lines that will give vertical asymptotes. So we have two vertical asymptotes. Thank you.